Hey guys, welcome to day 4 of GTO Trainer. We start off in the small blind with 10-3 offsuit facing a low jack open, standard fold. Then in the big blind with 3-2 suited facing an under the gun +2 open. 3-2 suited, these nice suited connector hands actually play the best against the under the gun range. Purely because of the lack of dominating hand or dominated hands, such as like your ace middling kickers, king middling kickers, or even king high kickers, but not high enough to be good against the under the gun range. So these suited connectors actually play the best. However, this will still be a standard fold. Then we have opened ace jack offsuit in the hijack to 2.5 bigs, facing a 3-bet from the button. Button's going to have a little bit of a wider 3-betting range than pretty much everyone else due to their position being later. Ace-Jack in this situation could be a 4-bet in some situations, not really going to be much of a 4-bet. I'm more leaning towards a call, thinking that it's a little bit too strong to fold, but I understand the GTO doesn't advise a call in a lot of situations. So I would not be surprised if this would be a fold based on GTO. However, I am going to elect, thinking of GTO, I'm thinking just a fold here, thinking that we're not doing too great up against their 3-bet range, and that is correct. Evidently it's a bad fold, but based on GTO it is a good fold. If we have a look over at the ranges here. So this is our hijack opening range on the left here, and then we've got the button's 3-betting range on the right. So it does, so yeah, our range doesn't exactly play too fantastic against the button's 3-betting, but I definitely see the fold in the fashion that we are outkicked in a lot of situations, and potentially even if we hit an ace or if we hit a jack, we could be put into, possibly not a jack, but if we hit an ace, we can be put into a lot of losing situations where we're up against an ace-queen or an ace-king, or even aces or even kings, where obviously, yeah, you get what I'm saying, but in terms of we might be outkicked in a lot of situations, they also have position on us, so I'm definitely understanding the fold here. I reckon in a standard low-stakes live game, you would probably just call here, but I definitely see the fold in a lot of situations because it just puts you in a bad situation playing out of position. And you don't want to be 4-betting that hand, because especially if you 4-bet it, you're going to be isolating a very, very, very strong range. If we have actual, I won't ruin the score, but I reckon if we had a 4-bet here, Button's range would look very much just aces, kings, ace-king, ace-queen, unless we're just looking to take down that 7.5 bigs, thinking that they have enough bluffs in the range and they have a wide enough range. So I could definitely see, it's probably why it has a higher EV loss than a call or an all-in, for example, that we could be folding out enough of their bluffs to be profitable-ish, or as you can see here, just mostly just close to break even. But yeah, definitely see the fold here without a doubt, thinking that we're going to be isolating too much of a strong range if we do 4-bet, or we're going to be outkicked or dominated and just put into a lot of tough spots should we just call there. In the button with 9-8 offsuit, if it was suited, definitely a raise without a doubt. Those suit connectors are fantastic hands in the button when you're playing late position and you get to act last essentially, and then you can almost steal pots even if you don't hit it at all, knowing that you might have, even if you have like range advantage against your opponent. Facing an under the gun +2 open with ace-7 standard fold. Once again, you're just going to be outkicked in a lot of situations. You're going to find yourself, if you hit your ace, it's most likely not going to be good a lot of times, and you could end up losing some money there. In the cutoff of Jack-4, facing under the gun open, once again, standard fold. On the button with ace-5 offsuit, if it was suited, would be a standard 3-bet. But facing a hijack open, this is going to be a standard fold. Similar situation, just going to be outkicked when you hit your ace, and your fire is pretty inconsequential in a lot of situations. And on the button, you would much prefer hands with a lot of post-flop playability, so you can utilize your positional edge a lot better, rather than those more marginal hands that would play a lot better in like a tournament or when you're more shallow stack. But when you're deep 100 big blinds, you would be more weighted towards wanting to call or open with hands of more post-flop potential. Here in the big blind with 10-8 offsuit facing a cutoff open, once again standard fold. In the cutoff with 6-4 facing an undergun open, once again standard fold. Damn, we only got 9. Well, that's a little bit rude from, what's it called? GTO WIZARD, but granted it's a free service, so not too surprising. So 9 hands, 9 moves, GTO score of 100, think that's the first one of the series. Not too surprising considering all the hands were pretty plain sailing, pretty straightforward hands. The only one that was a real concern was the ace-jack hand, facing that 3-bet from the button, just thinking that we're either going to be putting ourselves in tough spots if we call, we're going to be isolating too much of a strong range if we 4-bet, and at most we're just taking down that 7.5 big blinds from folding out all of their bluffs there, and we're only really getting called by better, albeit getting 5-bet, for example. And then a lot of them were just very standard folds. Pre-flop, pretty much every single other one was a fold pre-flop, so not too surprising there. Hope you guys learned a little bit. Have a good one and play well. Enjoy.